Living in America in 2025 feels like you're trying to breathe while someone's hand is over your mouth and they're charging you rent for it. As soon as you get paid, it's gone. You buy groceries and the bags are lighter. You fill your tank and the needle mocks you. Food's up, rent's up, insurance, utilities, coffee. Even your damn toothpaste is up. Everything's up except the paycheck. Oh, and everything's also smaller. Shrinkflation? Yeah, that's the way they rob you while smiling in your face. You're not imagining it. The box is smaller. The portions are skimpier. The price is higher, and you're supposed to eat it with a smile. This isn't bad budgeting. This isn't laziness.
I thought I had a bad outlook. Folks, this is how more and more people are feeling. Let's just finish up his video. We got a lot of news to get into today, but let's just finish up what he's saying here.
Rigged game where everyone at the top profits and everyone at the bottom is a slave. We're getting taxed, drained, and blamed every step of the way. If you feel it too, you're not crazy. You're just living in America in 2025. And it's brutal. Living in
There you go, people. That's put out by someone named Unhinged Bald Eagle. And more, like I said, more and more people are feeling like that. They feel like it's all set up against them, that it's the people at the top that run everything also set everything up to where they gain the most wealth, and pretty much everybody under them is just working for them. And by design is the way a lot of people are feeling, include this person right here putting that out. All right, in another video, that same content creator was saying that he's working 100+ hours a week. I don't know much about him except a couple of his videos that I found. I don't know if he's got a huge family, if he lives in maybe the most expensive city, which is, I'm in one of the most expensive cities. I'm in San Diego, and I'm not working 100 hours a week yet, thank goodness. But yeah, I think people are out there questioning this whole thing. Inflation that's always positive, or always increasing, I should say. I shouldn't use the word positive with inflation. And what do you know? What do you think about this? Are more people that you talk to in your everyday life, your family, your friends, community, coworkers, are they thinking the same thing as this person? Or are too many people, maybe they're thinking it, but they're just not talking about it? Even he's got sunglasses on. So maybe he didn't want to be recognized as maybe someone complaining or someone struggling. A lot of people, they just don't want to admit that they're struggling, right? I had some friends, I mentioned this a few times on this channel, some good friends that filed bankruptcy. They ended up moving to Minnesota, where they found out it really wasn't a lot cheaper. But the point is they filed bankruptcy, but they seemed like they were doing good up until it was time to file. And then we were like, wow, okay, we didn't know that all that was happening. We didn't know you guys were struggling that much. Everything seemed fine. And I think maybe a lot of people walking around, even people that you see out spending money, people at concerts, ball games, people that act like, or maybe look like they're doing well because they're buying these entertainment items or going to places, Disneyland, whatever. And maybe they're not doing as well as you might think just by looking at them. When you look at the total debt out there, that seems to be the case, that people are just financing their lifestyles, and their lifestyles may look pretty good. They may have a new car, and they may look like they're shopping and spending money, which they are, but is it just on credit? Is it just borrowed money? All right, but moving on to some news here, folks. Let's start right here. Speaking of the wealth, getting wealthier, and basically us working for the wealthy people, there's some conflicts going on right now, or some disagreements with Jeff Bezos, and he's having a very extravagant wedding, of course, on a $500 million super yacht. And some people where this is occurring are not liking it here. And it's taking place in Venice. A protest group is planning for another large demonstration June 28th, towards the end of Amazon founder's wedding celebration. Much gossiped about marriage at Amazon founder Lauren Sanchez is days away. City of Venice. Not everyone is pleased. The city has erupted into protests over the extravagant municipals amid a years-long effort to stop over-tourism and wealth inequality. So there's so many tourists over there that they've been basically lashing out against so many people coming over there. Typically, tourists, they don't treat the areas that they visit very nicely. You see a lot of litter, a lot of trash at these places that people tend to tour at a lot. So then you have to hire more people to clean up, and that affects the budget. But if your city's making money off tourism too, then does that money actually go out to help the community, or are just a few people, making the profits off of that tourism, right? That's, again, back to the beginning of this video with the bald eagle guy. He seems to think that it's all set up just to benefit the people at the top. And what we're seeing is just more ways to keep kicking the can down the road. Nothing major is structurally changing to make it easier for people. In fact, it's just going to get harder unless something big actually changes. And a lot of people, including myself, think and have come to the conclusion that in order for something to massively change, for there to be an entirely new structure, financial system, if you will, then we have to have a collapse. And that's why I haven't predicted, but I've rooted for some sort of economic implosion, because it would be a wake-up call to people. But if they keep kicking the can down the road, if they just keep everyone hanging on a string, everyone in debt, then that moment will never happen. It's kind of like you've seen other countries that go into hyperinflation, right? Nobody bats an eye until everything costs so much. And you never really see any sort of correction come out of that. So what do we do here recently in the U.S.? Well, we held rates steady. That's actually not true in some other parts of the world. We've got Switzerland entering zero interest rates. And now some people may argue that that's a great thing, because now your debt can be financed at a lower rate. You don't have to pay as much interest. But the problem is also people that save money are getting less on your deposits, right? So zero interest rates maybe help people that have debt, and it may help you buy more things or make bigger purchases, because the financing is going to be lower. But what about the people that aren't out spending money, that don't have debt, that just want to buy things for cheaper? This is going to make prices go up, because then people will have more purchasing power. And the savers, the few of them that are out there, the savers are going to get less on their deposits, because the banks are also going to be giving lower APYs and lower percentage returns on your deposits and your CDs, etc. And we've got a lot of things happening right now with layoffs, with AI, making people more fearful. And you would think that more people would be pulling back on this entertainment type of spending. But I was just watching a baseball game yesterday. The San Diego Padres were playing the Dodgers. And that was an interesting game, by the way. The pitcher kept on hitting people with the ball, kept on hitting the batters. And both benches came out, and almost a couple little fights broke out. But the whole field was filled with the players. But anyways, I was watching that baseball game. Tons of fans in the field. So it looks like everybody's doing well when you look at that. But in the background, people are scared, concerned, and worried. And what companies are doing now to basically, I guess, flex their strength is they're telling workers, or indicating to workers, that they can be easily replaced, that the employees can be easily replaced with AI. There's even some articles out. Here's Axios. CEOs are using AI to scare workers. Basically, they're telling people how easily they can be replaced. CEOs are giving employees an AI fright, warning them the new technology could make many workers obsolete, while at the same time urging them to start using it right away. So they're encouraging people to use AI in their jobs to make them more efficient, to look up information, to get data. But then at the same time, they're also saying, oh, by the way, the same technology that's working, that you're using right now, could end up replacing you. And we don't have to even speculate on that. We've already seen companies announce major layoffs, citing the use of technology, AI, as part of cost-cutting mechanisms, right? So it's only going to get worse and only going to continue. So when does the crash or correction happen? because of that, or will it never happen, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit later here in this video. All right, but real quick before we move on this topic here of AI replacing people, the Amazon CEO came out and offered his thoughts on this. And basically he said the following: the transformation, talking about AI, the transformation will likely reduce our total corporate workforce. Well, I think it already has if you look at some other companies. Maybe not Amazon yet. But I think if you look at the technology that's already in use, there's people that have already been replaced, and maybe they're just not coming out and saying that. Next, people, looks like all of our information is out there. Another data breach, another incident where security breach, what have you, and all your information's out there. 16 billion passwords were leaked. 16 billion, folks. So Google, Facebook, Apple, other platforms have exposed one of the largest cybersecurity data breaches of all time, according to Cyber News. It's not just a leak, it's a blueprint for mass exploitation is what they're saying here. This is another Axios article. Cyber News articles notes there was no centralized data breach at any of these companies. So how did the data get breached? Right, well, here's a creator that summed it up pretty well, and he's done a lot of research here, so I thought I'd save time and just play this.
15 billion Apple, Facebook, Google, and other passwords have just been discovered online, and you need to act now. Cyber News researchers just uncovered over 30 massive unreported stashes of stolen data that originate from various information stealers that together total 16 billion login credentials. We're talking everything from your social media logins to your work and government accounts. One single file contained a jaw-dropping 3.5 billion records. Researchers are calling this a blueprint for mass exploitation. The data is fresh and organized for cybercriminals to use in identity theft, targeted scams, and ransomware attacks. It even includes cookies and other metadata, making it incredibly dangerous. And the worst part, we'll never know who has it. Your only defense is to take immediate action. Go update your passwords and enable 2FA if possible. Follow for more updates.
All right, so not good, obviously, and updating the password isn't going to help, because if this is a data breach that's not being fixed, it sounds like it's ongoing here. We'll have to get more details on it here, but I went to the source of this here, the passwords. The largest data breach in history involves 16 billion login credentials. The records are scattered across 30 different databases, and some records may be overlapping. The data most likely comes from various info stealers. So they're putting this stuff out there somewhere on the internet. The data is recent, not merely recycled from old breaches. Cyber criminals now have the unprecedented access to personal credentials that could exploit them for account takeovers, identity theft, and targeted phishing attacks. That's pretty scary, folks. So if you think it's going to help, maybe think about updating your passwords and login credentials, especially for someone that uses the same password across different websites, So look into it more if you think it's concerning, and if you think it's a threat. All right, moving on, folks. One more thing. Speaking of extravagant purchases, well, not really extravagant, but check these out, folks. Recording sunglasses. Meta announces Oakley smart glasses starting at $399, and it captures video. Meta is announcing its next pair of smart glasses with Oakley. The limited edition model, the one in the picture, $499, is available for pre-order starting July 11th. Other Oakley models will come out as low as $399 later this summer. The Oakley model features the front-facing camera along with open-ear speakers and microphones that are built into the frame, and they can be paired with a phone. So another way for people to maybe suspiciously or unconspicuously spy on people and to take video, because we know that if you've seen these videos online where people are recording video and then the cops come up and harass them and they ask them why they're filming, and then the person with the camera says, okay, if I can't film, then why? Are you up to no good? Are you being what are you doing? Why can't you film? Basically you're filmed everywhere. Every store you go into, But then people with cameras sometimes get harassed. Maybe you haven't seen them, but I've seen a lot of those videos where people are saying, I can record in public, da da da. But this will be a way for people to record in public without raising too many alarms or suspicions. And $400 is really not bad. And when you think about it, if you're a content creator, it could be something useful and handy. So thumbs up or thumbs down on that. Of course, there's Zuck wearing them right now. Thumbs up or thumbs down. What do you think about the Bezos backlash with the $500 million, $500 million wedding over in Venice? What do you think about the bald eagle guy at the beginning saying basically everything's set up to keep people trapped and just working nonstop, working more and more and more? Is it a setup, or is it just the way that things played out just organically? I mean, please let me know what you think about this. And the rate cuts, also zero interest rates over in Switzerland. As it coming here to the U.S., we've got leaders right now calling for rate cuts, even though that's one of the things that led to the inflation and the cost of living that we're in right now. Crazy times, folks. We need some sort of massive crash or correction. Some people are saying that World War III is on the brink, and that could be the moment of some sort of correction. But either way, please let me know down in the comments about any of this. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.